Hey guys, welcome to the In the Game Room podcast. In this Saturday night edition, I'm going to talk about some of the things I've been working on lately and sort of what's going on here. You might have seen a post on the inthegameroom.com blog about this building here, the Pavlov's house building made by Things from the Basement, LLC. It's an amazing kit. I've been working on it. I think the last time you saw it, it looked pretty similar to this, but some things have been done since. I've started working on the staircases and railings inside. I hope you guys can see this from there. If not, I'll pop up some pictures. But it's been a lot of fun working on this interior detail, all the stairs and things like that. It's a real fun kit to work on. It's very, very detailed, and I kind of like that. I don't know if it's something everybody will like, but I do. I like the little details that really make it cool. So I've been working on that. These are the sections that come with the kit, all the way from here to here. And as you can see, there's an additional section down here. So what's up with that? This is a section that I have scratch built because, let me just push this down a little bit and show you guys. What I had planned on doing was, because this section here is destroyed and half of it's missing, I thought I would do like a little, basically the footprint of the building in short walls that were rubbled and stuff, so it would show what the building used to look like. So I started with that idea, and I kind of lost my mind and ended up doing this instead. The short little partial walls ended up being full height. So basically we have like just a big swath of the building that's gone. Probably a building wouldn't fall down in this way, just in the middle, unless it took a bunch of HE rounds right through the middle of the building. But not too concerned with that. I just thought this would look really cool. And I'm probably going to use this as this can be used as a separate building just by itself, just like this. And you can space them, as far apart as you want, and put a bunch of rubble here in the middle, and you can get, this could be a building on its own. So, so that's kind of cool, and it can be used, with this. And again, I could, space it out wherever I want. Really, I should, stick with the size of these modules, and if that's the case, it goes, right about there, which is still pretty cool. So that's what I've been working on here. I still need to do some railings up here. And of course, there's going to be tons of rubble and interior detail and stuff. And this whole building, these sections will be mounted on a piece of 1/2 inch MDF that'll be 2 feet by 4 feet. And that way I can do all the rubble and everything, and it doesn't have to be loose. The building that I saw that was done, I saw at Historicon, and the guy did an amazing job on it. It was really cool. That's what made me want to buy this. But I noticed one thing, that when he put the building down on his game board, he had to sprinkle rubble all around it. And then of course at the end of the game, clean that up, I'm sure. I don't really want to do that. It looked great. The way he did it, it looked great. But I want something a little more permanent on the board. I want to be able to lift the buildings off the board completely, so I'm not going to glue anything down as far as the building goes, but I'll have all the rubble all around it as part of the board, and then there'll be spots where these just sit down in. So that should be pretty cool. I'm about ready to start that phase here pretty quick, just to get the board and get these things set where I want them. So that's how that's going, and we'll just kind of slide this over here kind of out of the way a little bit. So that's what I've been working on for myself. For the company, I just finished this building here today or yesterday, I don't know, the days all blend together. But this is a ruined version. I did this backwards this time. Normally I'll do an unruined version and then I'll do a ruined version later. This building here, I did the ruined version first. And then after that, I went back and did the unruined version, or the non-ruined, or the perfect condition, or whatever you want to call it. Both of these buildings have removable floors and removable roofs, so you can place your miniatures inside and and then put them back if you want. The ruined version, of course, has the exact same thing. Let's get this back in the right spot there. Okay. This one, same way. They come apart. So we have both versions of this building now, and they're both online on the gcmini.com website. So get this guy back together, put that ladder back on. So that's kind of fun. I think it's a really cool building. It's reasonably priced for the complexity of it. I think it's just under $40 for this big building. So I think it's a fair price, and it's a cool looking building. Should work in a couple of different locations, maybe some German areas. I've seen buildings that look like this in the Normandy region of France. Of course, England, you're going to see things like this. So should work out good for some historical gaming. Could even work fine for some like fantasy gaming, like even like D&D or something. If you were playing in the 25mm and you wanted a fancy village house, there you go. Well, this is the actual kit. This is the way it comes, all the pieces in sort of carriers like this, and you just pop them out, and that's ready to go. So what else I've been working on? I mentioned last podcast, or it was just a special video I did showing the new Desert Africa Corps buildings from Warlord Games. I've been working on mine a little bit, haven't gotten too far. Well, I mean, I guess I have. I've got all the basic uniform colors done. I've got the hats and helmets done, boots, gaiters, and that's about it. So I'm onto the faces and hands next, and then these guys should all be done. This is I think 6, 12, I think 24 guys. I think 24 guys. It was 4 sprues of 6 dudes each, so there's going to be 24 guys here. I have 3 guys that are completely done. I'll post up a picture so you can see what they look like with the desert basing and everything done. I said in the last video that I talked about these that the miniatures are of amazing quality, amazing detail, really great. That being said, I'm having a hard time getting these done. I'm having motivation issues with this, and maybe it's because I don't play Germans, and it could also be because the uniform colors, while I did try to mix up the colors a little bit to show different levels of use and fading and whatnot, they're still pretty, well, they're pretty boring. This sort of sandy green color is just, yeah, it's just not really doing it for me. So I'm having a little trouble getting motivated to finish these. And like I said, I don't normally play Germans, but when I did the Waffen SS box, those were cool because of the really cool camouflage. It was kind of a challenge, so that was fun to do. But I'm just, yeah, I'm not feeling challenged on these, and not feeling all that interested. But I'm going to get through them. Because they're great miniatures. I want to add them to my collection, and I've already done a couple of vehicles. I did the Rubicon 222 and 223 armored cars. Got a couple other things in the works. I'm doing a Desert Africa Corps version of the BMW motorcycle with sidecar. So I'll have enough here that I can play a little game against my buddy who's doing the 8th Army British guys. So that'll be fun. What else is going on? Oh, this building I just showed you. Here's a little sneak peek. You won't be able to see this at all from way over there, but this is actually the exact same building in 6mm scale, or 1/285th scale. This is the master for it. I'm about to make a mold of this, and then we'll do them in resin. So that's happening too at the same time with this. All the scales in between, I don't know. Seems to me with buildings like this, 6 and 28 are the most popular scales. What else we got going on here? This is not a project I'm helping. This is our employee, Hayden. He's putting together the Russians, World War II Russians from Warlord Games. These are the Russians that came with the Battle for Berlin box set. I knew I wasn't going to build them, so I sort of passed them on to him. And at the last con, a couple of weeks ago, we sat at the booth and put all these together, me and him, and now he's painting them. He's got them all base coated, and he's going to go from there. But they're cool. one of the reasons why I didn't want to build them, well, I didn't want to start yet another army. Like that's going to stop me in the future anyways, but whatever. I didn't really want to start a Russian army. And the Russian plastic miniatures from Warlord are some of their older ones. They look great, but there's a lot of separate pieces, a lot of separate arms, separate weapons, separate things that they're holding in their hands, whatever they might be. It's a lot of different pieces. And admittedly, I've gotten spoiled by some of the new Warlord miniatures where it's like an arm, and a weapon all as one thing, and then you just pop that on the body and you're done. Get it adjusted where you want. So I've gotten kind of spoiled by those things, and having individual arms and individual weapons, I looked at them and I was like, no, you can have these, you can do that. But I have to say, having all of the individual arms, individual weapons, gives you a whole lot more choices for variety. Like, I don't think there's two guys on here that look the same, and that's sort of unusual in a plastics miniatures box from Warlord. Normally there's 4 sprues with 6 guys on it, or 5 sprues with 6 guys on it. So you're going to have 4 or 5 guys that look pretty darn similar. Not in this case. Some of them, the poses are the same, of course, but once you get different arms on and different weapons and things like that, they really do look a lot different. So that's kind of cool. It did make for a lot of variety. So hopefully he's going to get these finished up pretty soon, and I'll have to play a game against his new Russians. So I think that's about it. I didn't show this last time. I know this is pretty bolt action heavy because that's what I play, but we do have the starter boxes for the Africa Corps and the 8th Army, as well as the infantry boxes and a few other vehicles and things like that. So I haven't even really looked at this yet, but there's 6 sprues. This, just for your reference, this was 4 sprues here. So there's 6 sprues of DAC dudes in here. Let me turn this around. And there's there's the 88. It has the German 88 gun in plastic from Warlord. That's kind of cool. What do we got here? This is the Africa Corps Flak 88 crew. This is going to be available as a separate, not as a separate. It's going to be available with the 88 model as a new kit. It's the Africa Corps version. These are not available anywhere yet, apparently, except in this box. So that's kind of cool. What else did they put here? Africa Corps medium mortar set. That is available as a blister right now. And the Africa Corps medium machine gun team also is available now. And other than that, instruction sheets, a bunch of bases, and the Panzer III kit in there. Just quite a bit of cool stuff in here at a decent price, compared to buying all this stuff separately. The retail on this box and the 8th Army box, I think, is $112. You can find it on our site and many other places, quite a bit cheaper than that, but that is the list price. So I wasn't really going to talk about this, but as long as it was sitting here on the table, that's the Africa Corps starter army. I believe it's a 1,000 point army. It doesn't even say. Most of these starter armies are 1,000 point armies, or somewhere very close to that, so I'm just going to assume that's what it is. So there's the 8th Army, the Africa Corps, and then the individual infantry box sets if you want to add. And then there's the medium machine gun team, medium mortar team, HQ team, or HQ squad, and some vehicles. All that new stuff has come out. The Italians, as far as I know, are not out yet. They have Warlord has a box of Italians that has 20 or 30 guys in it. That's been out for a while, but they've got about 6 or 7 blisters that are coming soon. And they're not out yet, but they will be soon. Trying to think of what else is going on. There's a small regional convention coming up next month. Just about a month from now. It's the local chapter of the HMGS, the Historical Miniatures Gaming Society. They're having a deal in Fullerton, California, and they're having a bolt action tournament and I think I'm going to go and enter that. I've never played a tournament. I've played several convention games, events. I've even run a few games at conventions, and I've played, I've been playing the game for about a year and a half, but I've never actually played in a tournament, so this can be kind of fun. It's going to be a 800 point tournament, which is kind of an odd number, but it works out okay. I'm going to do my my British airborne dudes. There's going to be four Bren carriers, these four, and then each one of them has a 5-man squad in the back, and then there's going to be a mortar team and an anti-tank team and a jeep for the Piat team and a couple other things. So pretty much what you see here plus a few more guys. That's going to be my 800 point list, so that'll be fun. I've been having a lot of fun building and painting those British airborne dudes. I've still got a few more to do. The camouflage takes a little while, and I don't have a lot of time to paint, but I get a few minutes here and there, and I will have them done in time for that. So I'm about ready to submit my army list and get ready for that event, which will be pretty cool, and I'll let you guys know how that went. I don't expect to win. I'm not a competitive player. I'm not even a good player. I love playing, so hopefully I'll have a good time and everybody will have a great time beating me, and that'll all be good. So I think we're kind of caught up on most of the stuff that's going on here. I got a couple of more buildings I'm working on for the company, but they're not ready yet, so just this guy came out today or yesterday. That is all for now, I think, guys. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, topic ideas, anything, put them down below in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching it on the inthegameroom.com blog, put them in the comments there. I'd like to hear from you guys and see what you guys want me to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just going to go on babbling about what the hell I'm doing. So there's that. Okay, guys, take care of yourselves and keep on gaming.